Trump's been indicted. His poll numbers are going up, so primary voters like him. If he wins the primary, do you think he can win the general? And is it good for the Republican Party if Donald Trump is the nominee? Look. And then I want to get to Biden and his malarkey defense and all that stuff.
Can Trump beat Biden? Yes, he can beat Biden.
Is that a good thing for the Republican Party if Donald Trump is the
Republicans get to select their nominee. I think if you want to go sheer policy to policy, it's not good for Republicans. It's good for America.
Win an election? Could he win an election?
Can he win that election? Yeah, he can.
You think he can?
The question is he the strongest to win the election? I don't know that answer. But can anybody beat Biden? Yeah, anybody can beat Biden. Can Biden beat other people? Yes, Biden can beat him.
Can anybody beat Biden? Can Trump beat Biden? I'm not sure. The primary voters will decide. This is what Speaker McCarthy went on Fox News, and he was very confident until the backlash started. McCarthy questioned strength of Trump's candidacy, then quickly backtracks, because it's nothing like the megas coming after you, baby, to make you rethink what you said on national TV. The House Speaker angered Donald J. Trump's allies by saying he did not know whether the former president was the strongest candidate to beat President Biden. I mean, these days you just can't even be honest, because the megas will come for you. Now, what's perhaps even more hilarious, what McCarthy did immediately after. The comments irked Mr. Trump's allies, setting off an urgent effort by Mr. McCarthy to walk it back. He didn't just walk it back, baby, he ran it back. He contacted Breitbart News, the right-wing news outlet, to offer an exclusive interview in which he said the former president was stronger today than he was in 2016. You better say that, baby, to save yourself. And blamed the media for, quote, attempting to drive a wedge between President Donald J. Trump and the House Republicans. Damn the media for allowing Speaker McCarthy to speak the words out of his mouth. Yeah, they put those words in his mouth. Don't believe your lying eyes or your lying ears. It was the damn media that made him do that. This is just another example of McCarthy's cowardice when it comes to dealing with President Trump. The hurried attempt at ingratiating himself to Mr. Trump underscores Mr. McCarthy's fears of alienating the former president as he struggles to keep together his fractious House majority and withstand mounting pressure from the right-wing lawmakers loyal to Mr. Trump. In other words, Speaker McCarthy knows who is in charge, baby. And it is Donald J. Trump when it comes to the GOP. Now, how can we forget McCarthy's flip-flop on January 6th? Let's rewind, take a look.
Newly released phone calls show Kevin McCarthy told fellow House Republicans shortly after the US Capitol attack, Donald Trump had acknowledged bearing some blame for it.
He told me he does have some responsibility for what happened. And he needs to acknowledge that.
One call, McCarthy expressed frustration with the former president.
I've had it with this guy. What he did is unacceptable. Nobody can defend that, and nobody should defend it.
In another, McCarthy said he was considering asking Trump to resign.
It would be my recommendation you should resign. I mean, that would be my take, but I don't think he would take it.
Now, this was way back in 2022. I've had it with this guy, and he needs to resign. This man has no spine and no backbone. He talked that smack behind President Trump's back, baby, but he will not talk it to his face. Yet less than 3 weeks after January 6th, where was Kevin McCarthy, you ask? Here he was.
2 weeks ago, Republicans were condemning Donald Trump after the deadly attack on the US Capitol. Now, some already appear to be softening their stance, rolling it back. The latest example, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. He met with the former president at his Florida resort yesterday. It's a turnaround for McCarthy, who is backing off his previous statement that Trump, quote, bared responsibility for the siege.
Let's just go ahead and give McCarthy a nickname of our own, Back Off McCarthy. He not skipping, he running, because he knows the megas are not to be played with when it comes to the GOP. He understands who his daddy is. Jessica?
Yeah, he certainly does, but he doesn't understand, and neither does Donald Trump, they don't understand how to stand with their arms. They're like, what do I do with my arms? In that photo, they look like they don't know how to be human and it's their first day on earth. They're like, how do we stand when we're doing a photo in a lobby? And they're just like, it's the most awkward thing in the world. These guys are the least relatable people in the entire country. But I think McCarthy is a neoliberal. He doesn't like this brand of right-wing populism that Trump's bringing to the table because it's a distraction from their misinformation campaign about how Social Security is going to be insolvent in 2033 or the next 10 years, how they're taking in more or taking out more benefits than are being paid into the program, and therefore we just can't afford it. When we don't have existing legislation to allocate the funds to the defense budget, what they do is they just write a new piece of legislation to allocate more funds. So they're deciding to bankrupt retirement on purpose. McCarthy has a very clear policy agenda for what he wants done in the country. Donald Trump is not as in deep as the neoliberals are when it comes to that kind of a thing. Donald Trump really runs on fear and this kind of culture war. And that right-wing populism is a distraction from the mission of the more conservative branch of the Republican Party, but they want to maintain power and they need people like Donald Trump's base to do that because it turns out bankrupting your grandparents is not very popular among the American people.
There it is, the tsunami known as Donald J. Trump. Baby, we'll have them backing off. But yeah, you're absolutely right about that.